We are back. It is Thursday, June 6th. And as we do every day, we're going to zoom out to the monthly chart to help us maintain that perspective. We can see on the monthly, making an all-time high yesterday, trading above or breaking out of this previous 3-month balance. So first thing we want to do is balance rules are in play, right, on the monthly basis. We want to go with any balance. So we're going to be continuously monitoring this previous month's high, which is 53.58, right? Should the market be able to hold above there, there'd really be no reason to get short. The pullback off of the news traded right to the prior month's high and then bounced. So we'll be looking for it to stay above. Should we get below that prior month's high, right, maybe a little bit of pullback, we'll dig deeper into it on the profiles. But as of right now, that's going to be our key reference going into today. Should there be a deeper pullback, we want to be watching the current month's open, which is 53.12. Like we've talked about, above the 5,300, you really just want to stay long. Maybe some opportunity to fade, because we're so far away from it right now. But in the bigger picture, there doesn't seem to be a reason to be short above 5,300. Switching over here to the weekly, you can see weekly kind of breaking out. Now we're getting this nice squeeze that we talked about, right? We had a negative 4 week last week. A lot of momentum shorts piled into the market. We got above that settle, stayed above the settle, closed above the settle, and then now have continued higher to the all-time high. Breaking out of this longer term balance. Continue to watch this breakout. We've got this previous all-time high sitting at 53.58. That's the previous all-time high, like we said. So continuously monitoring that level for a continuation or a continued breakout. Should we get below that, you can see on the weekly, we do have a little bit of an equilibrium here, trading around that 53.12-ish area, 53.28-ish area. The level I have for a pullback is 53.28, an area where if we do get a pullback, that would be a decent pullback buy spot if the market has buyers that step up. So we'll monitor that spot should there be a trade below this 58. Now switching over here to the daily, you can see we get a nice strong +4 yesterday. Remember, below the +4 close and the close yesterday, 53.66. We want to be careful being short, or being long below that settle. And the reason being is we assume that on these +4s and -4s that we're getting momentum coming into the market. So momentum traders. Now, whether they're laggard traders or leader traders, it's hard to tell, right? This is a monthly breakout with the +4, so it's a single day is not really going to change the factor of a month, especially not a day that was 50-point range, 61-point range. But nevertheless, we do want to be cognizant of that. Below that settle, the market could look for a little bit of a liquidation. And then when we jump on the profiles, I kind of explain why I'm looking at that 53.28, basically right down to the previous day's open. We do have a little bit of an equilibrium here sitting around 53.45, so that's probably a decent number to write down. Write it down, 53.45. Probably a decent number for a pullback. Should we get that, we're pretty much above, above all the averages. Everything's kind of switched back to bullishness. Do a little peek around the block here. You see NASDAQ also making a new all-time high, trading up towards the top of this longer term bracket. We switch over to the Dow. The Dow not quite making an all-time high, right? You can kind of see it getting compressed. It wouldn't be bad to find out where our 50% is on the Dow. We can see it's that 39,075. So if the Dow's able to get above that, really indication of a strong market. Should it not, well, then we've just got to be paying attention a little bit. You can see the Russell, right? Kind of the same situation as the Dow. And then if we could take a peek over here at our stocks above their 50 moving average, we're about 48% inside the S&P 500. So we're kind of right smack dab in the middle. We'd like to see a little bit more upside for some more strength in the market, but nevertheless, kind of are where we are. Now, switching over here to the profiles, we can see a little bit of a review from yesterday. Oops, I don't know what just happened there. Oh, there we go. Okay, so a little bit of review from yesterday. We opened up, we got some news, traded back inside yesterday's range, closed the gap, didn't trade to the previous day's settle, found some buyers above the previous day's range, kind of chopped around up in this upper portion of our balance high until we started to one time frame for the better part of the day, with M period right here kind of giving us a little bit of a liquidation before bouncing back and closing at the 40 or 53.66 for a +4 close. So today what we're looking for is really just this continuation right off the previous day settle. That's going to be the strongest case scenario. Below this prior month's high, we probably get a little bit of chop down to that 45 area, which is right around here. Around there, we do have some, I think, probably some opportunities. This thing's being difficult today. Some opportunities to look for longs to test that prior month's high, and then hold of that prior month's high gives us back to the settle, and then we go back to our green trade, which is, confidence long. Below that, I think there is another opportunity here for a pullback closer to this 28. You can see we do have like one little set of single prints down here. One large set of single prints and then another small set of single prints down here near the 28. So if we do trade lower and fail to fill these singles or fail to fill these singles down towards the 28.50 yesterday's open, then there is some opportunity for some longs there as well as we're coming back into the balance high. Now below that, and if we do fill these singles, you start to get some pressure underneath of that 53.21 level. Below that 53.21, opportunity for some trading back towards that 5300, 5309 type area. Today is a day relatively with no news, right? We had our unemployment claims at 8:30, so there's not really much else going on. I think there is some very key details today that can allude us to what the market wants to do. And once again, and if we zoom this out, something that we talked about yesterday, if you didn't watch the video yesterday about how to spot the turn, really good video, where we talked about we thought we were going to go to all-time highs yesterday, and then we did. But very key nuances that the profile leaves behind, like these Brad prints that it left behind on the 3rd. The 4th didn't get down there, and then boom, we shot out. And then another set of these Brad prints as well down here at the 52.40, the ones that we've been talking about all week. Failure to get below that really indicates that selling is weak and likely drives the market higher. So, key nuances. If you're new to the profile, I implore you to watch some of the old videos or watch some videos on YouTube and learn about it. Really, the best thing you can do is actually read some books, because a lot of the classes or a lot of the education pieces on the internet are not that great. There's a 6-part study guide to the CBOE market profile. It's a little bit old, but it is full of good information. And also, if you have questions, let us know. Comment down below or ask me in the Discord, either or. But very little key nuances that get left behind by the profile often clue us in on what the market is doing and give us those opportunities for those great trades. But other than that, you guys have a wonderful day. Make sure you're managing risk and sticking to your trade plan, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.